Welcome back for another video. We're back already as we approach the Gameweek 19 deadline, the first double game week of the season. In the Experts, every game week we send important questions to hundreds of our participants, including a bunch of top all-time managers and content creators. This includes the Experts team, their transfer plans, captaincy, chip usage and more. We've got a great video installed this game week as we look at how the Experts are tackling this head scratcher of a double game week. If you'd like to follow this series and other content throughout the season, hit subscribe so you don't miss out. If you want to up your FPL game this season, I strongly recommend the Fantasy Football Scout members area. I've been a member for almost 6 years. The tools I use every game week are the fixture ticker, the data tables and the player comparison. That said, there's tons of tools, so give it a try using the link below and see what you find useful. It also supports the channel. Thanks to Scout for supporting the channel, and click the link below to try it now. Starting with the top ranked expert heading into Gameweek 19, and it's David Vo who's held on to the top spot, currently ranked 2.2k overall despite a red arrow last game week after scoring 56 points. That puts him at 1,154 total points for the season. Next up is the transfer activity among the experts. A very active game week with only a tenth of them rolling the transfer, 59% are making one transfer and 29% are making 2 transfers. One expert's making 3 transfers for a -4 hit and one has their wildcard active already. More on that shortly as the expert has revealed their wildcard team to us. In total, 4% of the experts are taking a -4 hit heading into Gameweek 19. So let's take a look at who they're transferring in and out. These are the top transfers. It feels like as well as the double game week we've got lots of fires to put out, with James injured, Cancelo not starting games, and the premium is all blank in last game week besides Haaland. It's Mitrovic who's the top transfer. 38% of the experts who are making a transfer are bringing him in. No surprises to see him top. However, it's not necessarily a straightforward decision for Martial and Darwin owners. Although he's frustrated, Darwin has generated an impressive number of chances, and Martial is home to Bournemouth, which could be a comfortable win. There's also around a 55% chance of a Man United double game week 20. Not particularly likely, but another factor to consider. Mount is the second top transfer with 13% of the transfers and Shaw with 12%. 5% of the experts have opted for the differential Havertz over Mitrovic. Chelsea face Man City first, which won't be easy, and then it's Fulham away. Potter did have very good things to say about Havertz though, which suggests he is nailed for starts, though Aubameyang could get minutes off the bench in his place. Odegaard's form as of late has been ridiculous, his last 5 scores being 13, 11, 16, 3 and 10. 5% have ignored the double game week and grabbed the Norwegian. Cucurella and Azpilicueta are among the top transferred in as well. They're likely fine for starts in both games but very short term plays, with Chilwell and James returning in the not too distant future. James is the top transfer out, 26% of the experts, followed by Martial with 20% and Darwin with 16%. Mitrovic averages a yellow card about every 5 games, so on average a 20% chance of picking one up against Leicester, which would equate to a single game week for him. Not a significant factor either, but worth mentioning. No updates on the chip usage this week besides the one manager, FPL Experts, who has their wildcard active. A very early wildcard, an interesting strategy. He's kindly shared his team with us and he's added some thoughts for Gameweek 19 which were: game state has changed since the season restart. Cancelo, James, De Bruyne, Martial don't look like good options now, and double Arsenal attack can give you good rank gains. So it's an early wildcard, keeping in mind Ben Crellin's next few game weeks double game week predictions can be fruitful. Best of luck to FPL Experts with the wildcard. On to the experts captaincy, and it's the most polarising game week of the season. Mitrovic is top with 39% of the vote, Haaland second with 26% and Mount with 18%. A huge spread, and interesting that just over a quarter of the experts aren't tempted by the double game week and are happy to keep the armband on Haaland. Rashford's so in form and perhaps a very under the radar pick for captaincy up against Bournemouth. Havertz and Andreas are tied with 4% and a couple of experts have backed the Liverpool men Salah and Darwin. Right before we look at the experts team, if this video has been useful and you appreciate the research for each episode, please drop the video a like and consider subscribing to support the channel. So we're on to the experts team reveal. How much will the team have changed as a consequence of the double game week? This team is built from their highest owned players and the team is as follows. It's Kepa in goal, a back 3 of White, Trippier and Shaw. The midfielder is Salah, Martinelli, Rashford and Andreas, and the front 3 is Mitrovic captain, Haaland vice and Darwin. Cancelo is on the bench in this team, but this one could vary team to team. After 2 benchings in a row, a call needs to be made whether to give a player like White or Bueno a chance or not. Almiron also drops to the bench in favour of Andreas. Hopefully you will gain some good points, some huge differentials you can identify from the expert selections, such as Kepa with 84% ownership among the experts but just 7% overall, Rashford at 89% ownership, 35% overall. Despite lots of transfers in by the experts, Mount doesn't quite make the template team. Each game week we ask the experts to offer their insight and tips for the game week ahead. David Gent says, think the double fixtures could be a red herring and Salah could be the best captain, although I'm currently going for Mount. Fredo FPL says, not capping Mitrovic on 4 yellow cards, still not over Dennis, and not betting against Haaland against a ropey Chelsea defence or team. They look worse without James. Carl Smith says, this is one week that betting against Haaland may be an option, however it may actually be a very bad option. Flair Player says, remember there's other double game weeks coming. Players you can bring in this game week might have to stay on your side longer than any plans that you make. Marco says, anyone wanting to take a punt for the double game week then look no further than Kai Havertz. The striker spot looks like it's his to lose after some encouraging press conference quotes from Potter. If you don't fancy Haaland or another single Gamemaker, then you could even captain him. Brohit says, I see a lot of managers getting sucked into Chelsea assets purely because of the appeal of double game weeks. We've seen before in the past how this might not always necessarily work and instead disrupts your team in the longer term. I wouldn't load up too much on Chelsea, they look abysmal at the moment. FPL Berg says, I'm sticking with Haaland for captaincy. Even with one game more, opting for Mitrovic instead while Haaland's on such great form feels like a punt. And lastly, Aaron Tompkinson says, roll on the second free transfer to take in additional news ahead of potential double game week 20 and beyond. Don't fancy loading up on Chelsea assets anyway, considering their form this season, 1 win since October. And that concludes the Game Week 19 episode of The Experts. If you found it useful, please remember to like the video and subscribe for weekly content to come all season. See you soon for the next one.